My name is Laura Smith. I came to work at North Carolina Central University for the last time in 1994, January of 1994. And shortly thereafter, Chantal Shafroth recruited me to be a part of the Women's Speakers Bureau. She would get women in science to go out and talk to classes at the various schools. And then shortly after that, she recruited me for the Women in Math mentoring program. But at that time, it was only in Wake County. So we worked with that on the planning committee until 97. In 96, Chantal started soliciting funds to start a program in Durham because we had women who were mentoring who lived in Durham and Chapel Hill. Chantal herself mentored, and she mentored people in Zebulon. So that was about as far apart as you could get. But she did it. She enjoyed it, but so she tried to get some money so we could start the program in Durham. And the Tensor Foundation, which is a part of the Mathematical Association of America, gave us the funds to start the program in Durham. And they gave us funds for 2 years. After that, she was the primary proposal writer because we started the program in Durham in 97, and she either retired in 97 or 98. I cannot remember which. So she did all of the legwork for the program. In 2012, Chantal died. It was hard because while she had been ill, I did not expect her to have a relapse. So when I found out that she was leaving us, it was just hard. But after that, I have been trying to do what I thought she would do, what I thought she would want done.
I'm Paula Sloan, and I'm going to tell you how I got involved in the math mentoring program. We had just moved here from Nashville, Tennessee. I was teaching some short, quick courses at Duke and felt I wanted some more teaching work. A friend suggested I talk with Dr. Ginny Knight, who is chair of math department at Meredith College. She said no, she was really sorry. There was nothing more that needed teaching, but she and a student of hers had just thought up the Women in Math mentoring program and how would I like to implement it for the first time. Dr. Knight had gotten involved with the program because she had just been to some math meetings where research was presented that middle school was a time when girls who had been interested in math and science and so forth, which we now call STEM, had tended to leave that when they went into high school. But some research showed that girls who had mentors, who were involved in STEM in some way, tended to stay more with these courses. And so Ginny thought that is Dr. Knight thought that a mentoring program for 8th grade girls would really make a difference. So I said, okay, I'll try that. The first year, with her help, I kind of started it going. The second year, she got me a committee of women who were interested in getting more girls into math and science and computer science courses. to work with me to run the program. Once we had that coordinating team together, we were able to embellish the program and add more ideas to the program and activities and so forth. And that's how the program started in Wake County.
I'm Tina Ewing, and I'm the director of the WAM program. We have Laura Smith, who's co-director, Uma, who is our NCCU liaison, Callista in the back, who is our coordinating team, Marsha, who is a mentor leader, Jessica, who is a mentor leader, and she also manages all the mentor leaders as a group. Let's start with the introductions.
Hi, my name is Chanel Burwell. It's my first time here. I work at Merck. So call y'all there.
I'm Shelly Ann Walder. This is my second year with WAM. I also am at Merck.
I'm Jenna. This is also my second year at WAM, and I am a grad student at Duke University.
Make sure all you come right
And either you or she can do this.
Thank you all for coming this afternoon. The Durham program started in 1997, so this is our 20th year.
My name is Brittany Mitchell. I go to Winston-Salem State University. I joined WAM in the year 2008 when I was in middle school at Shepherd. Things that I remember about this program was going to the lemur park. I also remember doing other programs with science as well. And I also enjoyed this program because it actually helped me out a lot with math because I was a little bit skeptical about math at first, but I grew on the program, and as of right now, I am also on the Dean's list at Winston-Salem State University, and I also feel like this program actually helped me out with, succeeding in college as well. And I'm also beginning to warm up to math as well, so let's go WAM.
Okay. Hi, I'm Davita Mitchell. I entered WAM when I was in the 8th grade. I was attending Shepherd IB Middle School. I believe the year was 2011. My mentor, her name was Mira Hahn. I do not remember exactly what she did for work, but I do remember that she worked at the historic work office place on 9th Street. She took us to a bunch of fun little science field, math field trips. And one field trip I do remember in particular was when she took us to the Raleigh Museum, and it was Darwin's Day. And we had our own little setup, our own little booth, and basically we was talking to the people about who Charles Darwin was and basically his role in evolution. She always took us on little outings, helping us with our homework. She always took us to dinner, getting pieces and stuff like that. I feel like WAM basically gave me my role and how I am now in math and science. I love math and science, and now I'm currently go to North Carolina Central University, and my major is pharmaceutical science. So thank you so much, WAM.
Hi, my name is Victoria Theo. I'm a software development manager at IBM. I have the pleasure of organizing the activities that we get to participate in during our Women in Math Mentoring program. Back in 1999, a project manager on our team talked to me about a program that his wife is in, the Women in Math Mentoring program. And it sounded like a great program where it mentors 8th grade girls to encourage them to be in STEM careers. So I became a mentor and enjoyed the program so much that a couple years later I became part of the planning committee. One of the things that I like the most is seeing that light bulb turn on in the girls' eyes when they see how interesting something can be, how interesting and applicable math can be.
Yeah, and it gets you excited about science and math. I used to really hate math, and now I'm like really good at it, and I really like it. And that might be because my grandma's a math teacher. I don't know, but it's fun.
Hi, I'm Bethany Bollers. I was both a mentee and mentor for the Women in Mathematics program. This past year, I was working as a mentor, and I had the wonderful opportunity to work with two wonderful girls from Durham. And back in 2006, when I was in 8th grade, I also had the privilege to be involved in this program. So to give a little bit of background, I went to Lefkin Road Middle School back in the day when I was a part of this program. I went to the School of Science and Math in Durham my last 2 years of high school. And certainly this program had an impact on choosing to go there and my interest in math. From there, I went to North Carolina State University just down the road, and I studied statistics and computer science. And from there, I've been applying those fields in my daily life and my career ever since. So I now work at SAS Institute here in Cary as a financial risk consultant, which means I have the opportunity to travel the world and work with several international banks on analyzing all their big data, really. So there's a lot of statistics, it's a lot of computer science, it's a lot of software, it's a lot of customer interaction, and meanwhile I'm able to travel and see the world. I wanted to be a mentor to really give back. So the program, it sparked further interest in math for me. I was at a very young, impressionable age, and it was nice to see a whole bunch of other girls my age who had similar interest. And once I was old enough to give back in that way, I wanted to see if I could be an impact in other girls' lives. Honestly, I was sitting in math class one day, and my teacher just came up to me, asked if I'd be interested in doing this program. I had no idea what it was, but it was a chance to get out of school and do something a little bit more geeky, which I guess I was into. So I decided to get involved at that point. You know, just 13-year-old me. It was a good choice. So I wanted to be a mentor to give back to the program, really. When I was 13 in 8th grade, it gave me a flavor of what it's like to be around other women who had such an interest in mathematics. So once I had the opportunity, as I was older, I wanted to be that resource and that inspiration for other women, young girls. And so it was absolutely worth it. As a mentor, it was the creativity that the program gave me in choosing activities and catering, the direction of my interactions with my mentees based on their interests. That just openness really allowed me to explore what they liked and how I can transform that into this enrichment opportunity.
Marjorie Brown was a mathematician, and she was a great resource and asset to North Carolina Central. Next, we will have Ms. Chanel Sidbury from Durham Public Schools, just to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Again, we are very excited to be here. I hope you are excited. I saw lots of people coming in with energy, even though it's early and it's cold. So we're hoping that today is going to be full of opportunities for you to talk, ask more questions from the representatives that we have here doing demos and sessions with them.
See, there's a lot of people signing in the booth. You got it. Okay.
This is the North Carolina Central University Fab Lab. Today we have Women in Mathematics Mentoring. I hope I got the name correct. They are here turning bitmaps into vector graphics. In doing so, they're going to be making vinyl decals that they can put on their book bag, on their computer, tablet, or whatever the case may be.
We're mapping out our homunculus. That is the brain area that is important for somatosensation, or in other words, touch sensation. The idea is that by using very simple tools like paper clips of different sizes, we can measure how sensitive we are with touch throughout our entire body.
We're extracting DNA from strawberries. So we're mashing up the strawberries and then we're going to extract the DNA and separate it out using alcohol.
So the girls right now are doing a binary bead activity, and they are making either a bracelet or a keychain. And the idea here is to teach the young ladies about binary code, which is the language of computers. And so they have taken the sheet and they have determined the month and the day of their birthday in binary code.
Fantastic. What's your birthday?
October 11th, 2002.
Thank you.
We have the UNC Physics Demo team. We have Jessica, Casey, Jennifer,
And Allison.
Allison. And so they're going to show you some cool things dealing with physics.
Yes,
Okay.
we are at room temperature. Okay. One of the ends. I'll touch this one. And if I touch your hand, you grab hands. Now let's touch the other one.
Ooh.
We just made a circuit with all of us.
Oh wow. And what I'm trying to do give everybody the same amount of time to work on it. Yeah, I gotta get these two, and then I'll come up with extra. I have to go.
Hi, we're representing the BRIGHT program at North Carolina Central University. BRIGHT stands for Biomanufacturing Research Institute and Technology Enterprise. We are a research institute that has undergraduate and graduate degree programs in pharmaceutical sciences.
These are electronic circuit board kits, so there's different patterns that they can create circuits, where they can see a light switch turn on, or they can have audio, a sound, or they can have a propeller that they go, and when the circuit is complete, the propeller will fly.
Hi, we're from Duke Molecular Genetics and Microbiology, and today our project is extracting DNA from strawberries. So we're learning how to get strawberries out of DNA, and learning about how DNA is the blueprint of life, whether it's in strawberries or in you.
Elementary in Durham County.
When I started teaching back in 1986 at Northern High School, I had well, what at the time was called a computer programming class. We had a handful of computers that were plugged into a mainframe that ran the basic language. So we were very happy if we could get the program to print our name 100 times. But I had one student in there, one woman and one girl in that group that was just learning how to make a computer work. And I had the opportunity to see that same student just a couple of weeks ago. She now works at Microsoft and leads the design teams for new mice and keyboards. And so, to me, she's a symbol of what's possible. But I just want to give a salute to all the women in math over the years who are now beginning to be seen as the rock stars that they truly have been for all these years. So for the students in this group, I would just like to encourage you to take the tough classes, find those teachers that will both challenge you and make the math come alive, because there's a great world out there in math, and you can be part of that.
I'd like to extend my gratitude to all the mentors here, former and present. Mentors are special people who contribute their most precious commodity, time. And it's that time that they use to nurture and develop others. You are very special people. Mentoring is one of the highest forms of service, and we all need a little help to get along the way. The mentees who were the beneficiaries of the Women in Maths mentoring program, you are all walking testaments to how this wonderful program touched your lives. Your task now is to go and pay it forward and pour yourselves into the lives of others.
I told my class that I thought with all the universities in the area and Research Triangle Park, this was a perfect place to start a math mentoring program. To my surprise, after that class, one of the students came up to me and she said, "I'm an administrator in the Wake County school system, and I can help you get this math mentoring program started." The Durham program has been going and going and going.
Hello. When I came to NCCU in 1994, I didn't just meet her then. I got to know Chantal better because I had been here 3 times before teaching, and she was always here, so I knew her. But we became closer then. And at the time, she was leading a program called the Women's Speakers Bureau. She got women to go out to schools and talk to students about how mathematics is used in everyday life. Shortly after that, she recruited me to serve on the planning committee of the Women in Math Mentoring Program. So every year, we were writing proposals, trying to get money to fund this program. I must say that we have had one constant donor, and that is GlaxoSmithKline. They have funded us every year since 1999, after the Tinsel Foundation stopped. So, in my opinion, Chantal was the Durham program. She worked with our student workers, she wrote proposals, she recruited presenters for MLB Day and MQ. She basically did everything. But then, as you heard before, she retired in '94. Well, when I retired in 2010, she said, "Here, it's yours." So I must say that after her death, her daughter and son-in-law, as well as her husband, became generous donors. So we don't have to figure out where our next meal is coming from, or where our next what MLB catering fund is going to come from. We have some funds and we can survive for a while.
Hello there. Like my mother before me, I'm a mathy. My mother, Chantal, had only sisters. In fact, she had 4 sisters and no brothers. So supporting the advancement of women was more natural, probably, to her parents. When Chantal retired in 1994, she wanted to stay active in math, and she would become part of the effort to encourage young women to study and choose careers in math. That group, the Women in Mathematics, is now 20 years old. That group is you. Success to all of you. You are breaking the barriers of prejudice that keep us from realizing our potential. You can be the Williams Sisters of Math. You can be the next stars, math stars in North Carolina. Thank you.
I think my favorite field trip was, even though it was a bit awkward, the Duke Hospital, because I think that's what I want to be when I grow up, to help find a cure for leukemia for those little kids.
We took a tour to the School of Math and Science because it gave me like more opportunities to choose from what I want to do when I get older, and it gave me the opportunity to apply for the summer camp.
When we went to tour into North Carolina School of Science and Math, my interest in that school grew a lot, and they really raised my interest in math and science related like classes. Yeah.
So one of my favorite things we did is we took a tour of the Durham Children's Center, and we got to see the cancer lab, and that was neat just to go in and see what the actual science lab area was like, and see like all the instruments and what a classic scientist looks like.
My favorite field trip was the Duke Children's Center. I like that because I want to go in the medical field when I grow up. So it gave me an idea of what the life is like.
Went to the planetarium and we got to see a show. And after the show, we got to see how all these different spacecrafts were going to space and exploring it and see the future of where they're going to be in the next year. And the funny thing is, I like astronomy, but I'm thinking I want to be a genetic counselor when I grow up.
Hi. So I'm the person who sort of came back from the past, who started implementing the program way back. And I felt that this year, being our 20th, that we should recognize some of the people who have been on the coordinating committee a really long while. So the first person I wanted to mention was Laura Smith. Secondly, and I'm doing this in order of being on the committee, is Victoria Theo, who isn't here tonight. Give her a clap, she's not here. Tina Ewing. Last, we have Sally. Where's Sally?
My name is Shannon.
I'm a mentor leader and I'm part of the coordinating committee. And tonight I have the pleasure of announcing our Mentor of the Year for 2017. And this award recognizes an outstanding mentor. So this year the coordinating committee has selected Chelsea Fulmore. She is a mentor at Broadway Middle School. And this year she was a first-year mentor in the Women in Math Mentoring Program. And she went above and beyond. And we're honored to have you as our 2017 Mentor of the Year. Here's a certificate for you. And thank you very much. Introduce Dr. Inyade Kalis. She'll be our speaker this evening.
What we talk about in the education sector is pedagogy or pedagogy, depending upon how you like to pronounce that word. It's a really funny word. But basically, it's our approach to being able to teach something, our methodology. And when we're talking about mentorship, that is a really, really critical tool because it's very effective in being able to teach someone something, to be able to mentor them. But what we find is that 1 in 3 young people will actually go without a mentor. And so what we want to do is we want to close the mentoring gap so that we don't have so many children going their entire careers, academic careers, professional careers, without someone that they can call a mentor, because we recognize the importance. We know that mentors will help you grow, thrive, and succeed, and I'm hoping that you all feel similarly about the people who have mentored you through this program.
Insert those. Okay.
But at this time, we want to recognize our scholarship program. As you remember, at the beginning of this program, we told you there were scholarships that will be offered at the end of the program for summer camps. And we encourage each of you to take the opportunity to apply. So I am grateful. And so I am pleased to honor her with a scholarship in the amount of $950.